3.5 years I have been living in St. Petersburg, Russia. Living there with my grandma, who's 83 years old, bedridden, can't do anything, takes an hour to make her eat, doesn't move, just lays in bed. Pretty difficult. Went there to go to a nursing school. There's a great nursing program. Here it takes years, it takes a really long time here, and in Russia it's, well, when I moved over there, actually it was crazy. I went over there to study for a year. Turned out to be 4, because the first year I missed, the program changed to a 3-year program instead of a 2, and blah blah blah, just many different reasons. So I got stuck for 4 years. The first year and a half, I mean, I didn't leave the hospital, sick all the time. Just one thing, I guess it was just adaptation to the new environment, to the new weather, because the weather there is terrible. I mean, after California and sun, all year long, over there it's pretty depressing, yeah. But 2 years later, when I got a boyfriend, I don't know where life became much more funner. That's how it usually happens. And you gotta find the people, gotta find the group of people that you are comfortable with, you have fun with, and then you can just be anywhere. You can be in Africa, you can be in Russia, you can be in America. I mean, a lot of people move here from Russia and don't like it here just because, I mean, they have the language barrier and they can't find a group of people that they'd be comfortable with. So, I mean, they love the sun, they love everything that I love, but they're not comfortable because they have nobody to share it with. So they just go back to the cold, gray Russia, but to the people that they like spending time with. So I left for Russia when I was 19. I don't know where. My grandma had a stroke first, then she broke her hip bone, which happens to all the old people, I guess, but it's the first time it happened in our family. So somebody had to go. So my mom can't go, my dad can't go, and I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm working at Coffee Bean. Really exciting job. So my parents couldn't go, and my sister was working. She's actually an RN, so I'm kind of following her footsteps in that. And she has a son that she has to take care of, so the only person that could go, possibly, would be me. So I went. So it turned out that I helped my grandma, got my schooling done, got my diploma. So when I just got there, I didn't realize how bad my Russian was. I mean, I moved here when I was 12, and until 19, I lived here. Barely had any Russian friends. Like I said, all of my friends were Persian for some reason, or American. So the only people that I would talk Russian to was my mom. Even to my dad and my sister, I would speak English. So Russian was really bad, really difficult. I remember I came to the school the first day, and the first day they tell me that I have a test, not a test, but when they give you this this essay form, and they read it out to you, and you have to spell it. And I mean, my spelling was so bad. All my S's were American, all my T's. I mean, it was terrible. And I remember my parents kind of freaked me out, saying that I shouldn't tell anybody that I'm from America because Russian people just hate Americans and I'll like get killed. And I was freaked out. So I didn't want to tell anybody. So if anybody asked, I was like, oh, I'm from Moscow, I'm from Moscow. Then after I write this test, I write this paper, I'm like, I have to tell the teacher. I mean, I have no choice. She's going to see this, she's going to think I'm like a, retard and make me go to a different school or something. I don't know. So after class, when all the kids were gone, I come up to her and I was like, I just want to let you know that I haven't written in Russian for the past like 10 years. So don't be surprised after you see my paper. So she asked me all these questions about it, and then the next day when everybody came to school, she officially announced that I'm from America. I got an F on my test, and it was wonderful, yeah. So everybody started coming up to me. Half the people started hating me, just because I'm from America. The other half was just interested. I'm not quite sure if they hated me or not hated me, but at least they had all these questions to ask me. Only made one friend over there, the only person that smiled. The only one. She came up to me, which very untypical for a Russian person. She came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Natasha." And I was like, wow, are you from America too? She wasn't from America, she was just friendly. So until the last day, the school went on for 4 years. Till the last day, this is the only person practically I hung out with. For some reason, which was really surprising to me, Russian people just hate everything about America. It's surprising because here, if I tell people that I'm from Russia, they go, wow, that's so cool, what is it like? They ask me all these questions, they say how beautiful Russian women are, and so on and so forth. So moving over there, I figured it'd be interesting for Russian people too to hear about America, but it was complete opposite. I was scared to say it. Just all these, I don't know, I've been trying to figure out why do they hate us so much. But it's probably just them being probably them just being jealous, just being, I mean, if you compare the two lives, I mean, it's uncomparable. It's not even, I can't even explain it to you. Unless you've been there, there's no way to let you know. Just the way how government, no, I'm not even going to go into the government, but just people are different. People are rude, people are mean, people hate everybody who has a good life, which are Americans. I remember in my first year, I'm by the subway and I see this huge group of Americans, and I mean, I know they're not from England, I know they're American. And I'm like, damn, I have to approach them. But there's so many of them that I don't know what to say, how to come up and say what. They're just like 15, 20 of them. And then I see by the side there's this huge, humongous, really crazy looking black guy and another guy, and I'm like, well, this will be more comfortable to approach them. So I come up and I say hi, blah blah blah. They're of course really happy to see me. I mean, an American, but a Russian. So they tell me that at the consulate they have parties every Saturday, and tomorrow is a Saturday, so they're like, come on over, we'll have fun, blah blah blah. So I start hanging out with them, and especially with the black guy. His name was Scott. He was great, he was really funny, and he was, I don't even see black people here like this. I mean, he was huge. His arms were like this big. He had his hair done up. I mean, his eyebrows were all done up. I mean, he was just beautiful. Like, he was great. I showed pictures of him and people were like, where did you find him? So me and him started hanging out more than I hung out with anybody else. And I was like, so how are the people treating you here? I was just really curious to what he thought. He was from New York. And he was like, oh, the girls love me. The girls love me. They always smile. And I found that really surprising. Why? Because Russian people do not like black people. It's really crazy how different the life is in Russia and America. And just the average life. Just an average person living in their home, going to work, coming back home. Just what their life consists of. Over here, I don't have to explain to you what you do here. People go to school for years. They finish universities, they get straight A's, and they make $200, $300 a month at best. The prices, however, are the same, and some places are even more expensive. The meat, more expensive than here. The flowers, the restaurants. The food is more expensive. I mean, you can eat bread. Bread is pretty cheap, and that's what people do eat. And then they spend like half their life in the hospitals healing their ulcers. And maybe that's why people get so angry. Maybe that's why people get so mean, get so rude. And people are rude. People are really, really rude. Nobody says sorry for pushing you. Nobody says, oh, excuse me, when they're trying to pass by. Nobody holds the door for you. You don't see that. Unless this is somebody that is with you, a friend of yours, and he has some sort of manners, yes. But to any outside person, if you're coming into a subway, he just slams the door in your face, and he likes it. He likes it if you get hurt. It's really, I don't understand. I know it sounds crazy, because it sounded crazy to me. I remember I was scared to go to the office in my school to ask him a question, because anytime I would get in there, they would just, I don't know, they would be so mean to me. They would be so rude to me. They'd start yelling at me. They'd start telling me how they have no time for me, how they, I just don't remember all the terrible details, but I remember I would come home and I would cry for a year straight. That's what it took me to get used to the whole rudeness of people. For a year straight, every time I would come home, I would cry so much and so many times, just because I couldn't understand why people are so mean and mean to me. Like, what did I do to deserve it? I remember when I just came back from America, and you know how people smile. You meet eye to eye and you smile. It's only natural. If you don't smile, then you kind of feel grumpy, right? No, it doesn't work. You gotta smile. So over there, that's what I did. Just that's what I'm used to. Remember this security guy at this hospital that I spent this whole day at comes up to me. He gives me this really mean look, and he goes, "Hey, why you keep on smiling?" And he said it in a Russian language in a really mean way. I can't even translate it as mean as it sounded. I mean, that was the point, but just the way he phrased it. And I remember I just looked at him and I smiled. Oh, what else? I don't know what to do. That's what I'm used to. That's what we do here.